Welcome back to SCOD class. Today I will be reading where I left off last time in SCOD Prolog. So you're welcome to read along with me in your books. And if you try to follow the methodology at home, inevitably different results will happen every time. Do not dismiss SCOD as a naive concept of Utopia. And I will talk about Plato's Republic and Atlantis concepts later. It would be foolish to assume that SCOD is an attempt at perfection. Even the concept of Utopia is not naive. First of all, most people don't realize that Sir Thomas More's book, called Utopia, was not actually about a perfect heaven or paradise, but only as close to paradise as he thought could be humanly possible on Earth. Utopia was a fictional, ideal city, yes, but it was not perfect, even in the fictional account. Designs will never work out always the way they were intended to work. And that is a quote derived from something that the mayor that won the election that defeated my father in Harper's Ferry told me years later, and I think it has a lot of merit. Now, my utopia will not be good for everyone, and there'll be good aspects of it that may be applicable for many people, but just as your utopia would not be perfect for everyone, it may be better than other visions of utopia, but this is the game that the author of a utopia plays. Some aspects are good, but that will always change with people in time. Fiction serves to warn us and dream of improvements. And now for your amusement, I will be reading in a posh or upper-class crusty British accent. Analysis of my life in America today leads me to a conclusion that I am too dependent on corporate monopolies. These poisons may not only cause my death, but will continue to cause extinctions of species on this planet. Our extinction will be caused by this dependence on unrenewable resources that we are conditioned to use like the convenient disposable sheep that we are. We will drown in our own pollution and starve from a broken food chain, what? And that's all I'm going to read today. I'm going to skip the last paragraph because it's too depressing, but I will end on the note that humans exist within nature and shit happens, so let's deal with it. Now I'm going to read some comments that people have in response to the question. If you could talk with President Obama in person for 10 minutes, what would you ask him? I would ask him to consider imposing justice at Standing Rock based on his ethical civil rights background. He may disagree that role would not be within the limits of his power, or he may already be working on it behind the scenes due to public limits of power. And there's videos that I posted where other people have talked about this issue in regards to presidential power. The next comment is from a Canadian friend of mine that says, they would ask him, what about aliens and who wrote the Bible? And I said, what if he said he would tell you, but only you had to keep it a secret? And they said, sure. Yeah. They would say they would go along with that. A tattoo artist friend of mine says, if it's, he would ask Obama, is it too late to send a drone strike to Trump Tower? Of course, that's a bit of humor, but it's amazing how, when faced with demagoguery of the worst sort, that dark humor is, has some grains of truth. But whatever. It's an interesting question. Okay, another artist friend of mine says, definitely to raise his voice and do whatever he can about the horrid stuff going on at Standing Rock. So basically, ask a series of questions or say a series of statements to President Obama saying, you know, you're from a mixed racial background, a mixed cultural background. You know, you're in many ways a typical melting pot American. What the fuck, you know, is going on with Standing Rock? And another friend of mine who is a YouTube counterculture commentator says she would tell him to go to Standing Rock. And also another artist says, or the same artist that said about Standing Rock says she would ask him if he could sing a few sweet old R&B tunes to her. That would be nice if he would do that, sure. Another YouTube commentator asks, who is pulling your strings, Obama? Who is your puppet master? Yes, Obama, who is your puppet master? What? We would like to know. And, of course, speculation has Rothschilds and Illuminati. All right. Aliens, another person says aliens. Libertarian says they really want to know about aliens. And, of course, you know, many of these comments have humor in them. And there's videos on people asking them and their, you know, politically correct responses to the alien stuff. Okay. Another friend of mine asks Obama, why did you not go after bankers after 2008? And I say that's a good question. Jennifer Hopkins writes, careful. I see that Miss Skittles is in attendance again. Thank you. I don't know what I should be careful about. Yes, we should be careful in asking Obama questions. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's what she meant. But, oh, Jennifer Hopkins is interested in... I'm just going to out you since you told me to be careful. Can you knit? Yeah, that's precious. Well, Jennifer Hopkins is a famous knitter, so that's appropriate, actually. Okay, a professor of mine asks Obama, why did you appoint Hillary Clinton Secretary of State? Good question. Another person asks, why haven't you turned yourself in to the International Criminal Court yet to face charges considering drone strikes? And there's a link that they posted there. And a cultural commentator of some fame writes, so do you want to play some basketball, Mr. Obama? So, you know, that's pleasant. Oh, we had a British person, I think they confused Obama with Bernie Sanders. But that's about it for now, and unless there's any more questions. Oh yeah, the Trump Tower comment, I got you. All is well. We are not dead yet. So stay strong, and I will have more to talk about next time. I think I will get into the foundations of philosophy and Empedocles and Socrates, two of my favorites, and why I think they're still relevant today. Peace, and have a pleasant tomorrow.